when people see this, they're going to say, well, he really wasn't a nice guy. He may have been a tyrant. Well, that's because you never won anything.
The Atlanta Braves are just one victory away from their first World Series championship since 1995. No one thought they would be here by season end. This is a team that didn't really get over 500 until around August. They got hot, but despite that, we still all thought that they would just, they would make the playoffs because they were in the weakest division in baseball, the National East. And we thought, they would get in, but then they would get bounced right back out. And when they beat Milwaukee, I didn't watch that series, but what's this? Yeah, I didn't watch that series, but, I figured, they'll lose in the championship series to the Dodgers or Giants. And then the championship series happened, and none of us could have really prepared for what we were about to see. I know a lot of Giants fans were rooting for it like crazy. And my buddy, who's a Giants fan, his text messages to me, ever since the Dodgers-Giants series has been Braves, go Braves, 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 Braves. And, we even, despite the fact that, we didn't think the Braves would win that series against the Dodgers. You saw them escape the series against the Giants, and it was just like, those are the two best teams in baseball. One of those two teams are going to win the World Series. And when the Braves did it, it was honestly shocking to me that they were able to do it, because, like I said, they were probably on paper one of the weakest playoff teams of all the teams, not just the National League. But they are in the World Series. We're here, and they're just one victory away from their first World Series championship since '95. Be sure to smash that like button on the way in. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. That is greatly appreciated. And without further ado, let's just talk about what's going on. So yeah, the Braves were down in this game, and they were able to battle all the way back. I think it was the sixth inning. Let's see. Yeah, they were able to battle back in the sixth inning. They got a run on the board, and then in the seventh inning, they were able to capture the lead with 2 solo home runs. And they went on to close out the game in the ATL and take a surprising lead. I would say in the series. And when you look at it, man, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm just some baseball guru, because what I really want to talk about is just. And they haven't even won yet, and I want to do this. I want to talk about just everything Atlanta has been through that I've seen them go through. When you look at the Braves of the 90s, they're called the team of the 90s, but they only won one championship in the 90s. And then you're just looking at the Super Bowl with the Falcons, back in 2016 season. And we saw that collapse. And then you fast forward, 2 years later or a year later, you got Georgia in the NCAA championship game. And every year in college football, I always find that team, because I don't really have a team in college football like Duke in college basketball, but I always find that team that I will stick with and that I'll pick in the beginning in college football. And that year, that season, 2017, I picked the Georgia Bulldogs to win the championship. I rode with them throughout the entire season. They got there, they got Bama, and it was in Georgia, in the new Mercedes-Benz. The Saints is called the Superdome. This one is called the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, I think. Anyway, it was in Georgia, and it looked as if the Bulldogs had it until they didn't, and it was just so devastating, to see that. For me, it wasn't devastating to see the Falcons collapse, because I'm a Carolina fan, and we don't really have a rival like that, so I just made the Falcons the team in football I hate the most. So it was funny to see the Atlanta Falcons collapse like that, but it hurt to see the Georgia Bulldogs collapse like that. And then, fast forwarding to last year, the Braves were up 3-1 on the Dodgers, and honestly, that season was so irrelevant. When they brought it up, I forgot that the Braves and Dodgers even played in the National League championship game, and the the Braves blew a 3-1 series lead. But they didn't blow it this year. They were able to beat the Dodgers. They're in the World Series. Now the question is, can they win the World Series? Can they cap this off despite the fact that they have been injured? They've been depleted with some injuries and things like that. But they are in the World Series. They have a 3-1 lead in the World Series. And tomorrow they have a chance to win the World Series. You know, can they do it for Hank Aaron? Can they get it done for the city? Because the city has gone through so many disappointing, you know, even I forgot about the Hawks. The Hawks didn't have a command. They never were really, they did. I think they won one of those games in Milwaukee, but they were never really in control in that series. And it all showed just how much better and this is the Eastern Conference Finals from this past summer, last season. But it really showed just how much better Milwaukee were than the Atlanta Braves. I mean, the Atlanta Hawks. So many Atlanta teams, so many birds. Anyway, it showed how much better they were because, if I'm not mistaken, Giannis Antetokounmpo did not play in the last 2 games of that series, and the Hawks and the Bucks were still able to dominate and win and get to the NBA Finals, and we know how that ended. But Atlanta has had some runs in recent memory, man. They've been close, and I'm honestly starting to feel like this is it right here. I'm starting to feel like this is going to be the year that the ATL do it. Not in football, even though my Panthers do play the Falcons tomorrow. I forgot about that. Damn, we never win in Atlanta. We never win in Atlanta. We never really beat the Falcons like that. And the Lakers play tomorrow, and they never really win on the same day for me. So when they play the Rockets, so you know, one of them got to give. Last week I went like 0 for 3. I had my fantasy team get stumped out. The Lakers lost to the the Lakers beat the Spurs. No, I went 1 for 2, 1 for 3. I went 1 for 3. Never mind. But the Panthers lost, and the Panthers been losing for the last month. We got Gilmore tomorrow, so I'm excited about that. And we got to get McCaffrey back. When we get him back, then I'll judge just what I think about this team. Until we get healthy, I'm not writing them off for the playoffs yet. But anyway, we got the Braves tomorrow at 5 Pacific time, 5:15 Pacific. We're going to see if they can cap it off tomorrow. And we also got the Cowboys and Vikings on that same night. I wonder what the ratings are going to be like, you know, between those two, because they are playing at the same time, going head to head with football. And we got some basketball. So we got a lot of sports here, but we're going to see what the Braves going to do. And if they, you know, of course, despite what happens, we still going to be back here to give an update on the Reed Report. I'm rooting for Atlanta. I really do want to see Dusty Baker. If the Astros win, honestly, I won't be mad because I want to see Dusty get one before he decides to leave the game for good. But I feel like the Braves going to close it out tomorrow because it's going to be hell for them in Houston if they have to go back there. And I feel like this is the moment. You have the perfect opportunity in front of your home crowd, in front of your fans who has been starving for a world championship or a national championship, and you have a chance to deliver them the franchise's first World Series since 1995, the second since being in the city of Atlanta. And don't mess this up. Don't Atlanta this up. Don't be Atlanta. Be ATL. Be someone else tomorrow. Be the Patriots. Be the Warriors. Be a dynasty. Be the Showtime Lakers, Shaq and Kobe Lakers, or something like that. Don't be Atlanta tomorrow. Go in there with a different mindset. It'll be cool to see Atlanta win this. I just told them not to be Atlanta, and I'm calling them Atlanta. It'll be cool to see the Braves win this championship if they win it. So that has been your update on the Reed Report. I thank you guys for taking the time to hear me out. Like I said, please like the video, share the video, subscribe to the video, leave a comment, tell me what you guys think. I'm really excited about, you know, what we have coming up in the future. So stay tuned for that. Again, subscribe, and I will see you guys back here tomorrow because it's either the Panthers are gonna make my heart or break my heart. Lakers, Rockets. The Lakers have been super inconsistent. They can't stop anybody. Anyway, we got to go. We're getting up out of here. I appreciate y'all. We're going to see what they do in the city of Atlanta tomorrow. Peace.
When people see this, they're going to say, well, he really wasn't a nice guy. He may have been a tyrant. Well, that's because you never won anything. I wanted to win, but I wanted them to win and be a part of that as well. Look, I'm only doing this because it is who I am. That's the way I played the game. That was my mentality. And if you don't want to play that way,